By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Welcome to another episode of Timmy Talks, the channel where we talk old school magic. And today we are back at the Raging Bull series in Amsterdam. We have reached round number 3, and in round number 3 we've got two beautiful decks for you. Actually, one of them is really stunning. That's the deck of Alexander, a German player. He's got an all alpha, I repeat, an all alpha blue and red deck. This deck is stunning. I can't wait to show it to you in the deck section of this video. He's taking on Leo, and Leo is playing also a pretty cool deck. It's 3-colored. It's a deck that I've never really seen before. I've called it mid-range just because I don't really know, what name to give it. Maybe after I've seen a match I can give it a name. It's blue, it's not blue. It's black, it's green, and it's red. And it's not blue and it's not white because Leo wanted to build a deck that's not blue or white, and that can actually do really well against all those blue and white control decks that are kind of dominating this scene at the moment. So it's going to be really interesting to see this deck in action. Now, before I jump into the deck section of this video, I've got lovely deck photos of both of these decks. I would first like to tell you something about my Patreon page. Hi, me hearties. If you would like to support the show, you can become a patron at patreon.com/TimmyTalks. We have 3 different patron levels. You can join as an apprentice for just $1 a month. And this will give you access to the Timmy Talks Discord, and you can join in on all the Timmy Talks online tournaments, such as the Color Clash and the Reprint Masters. You can also become a supporter at the Sorcerer level for just $2 a month. When you are a Sorcerer, your name will be mentioned in the end scroll, and if you want, you can play a game against, well, me. But there is more. If you become a supporter at the Pirate level, we can even make an episode together. Aye! Haha! You can also choose to pay annually for a 10% discount. So what are you waiting for, me hearty? Visit patreon.com/TimmyTalks and join the Timmy Talks crew. Arrgh! Okay, we are back and ready to dive into the decks. I'm going to start with the player on the left, that is Alexander. Let's take a look at his alpha deck. And here we see the deck of Alexander. So as you can see, it's all alpha, and I love this deck. I mean, this is truly a deck made by a lover of Magic the Gathering, a lover of everything that is old school. This is old school. Bringing a deck like this to the tournament, it's like super cool. All alpha, stunning cards, and actually, it's looking pretty decent as well. I mean, you've got Lightning Bolt, you've got Psionic Blast, you've got a lot of burn, you've got Fireballs, Earthquakes, you've got your Fork to maybe copy the power if your opponent is playing a power spell, which is really sweet, or of course to copy burn spells of yourself. You've got access to counter magic in the form here of 3 power sinks and a counter spell. You've got some pretty decent creatures. You've got Dragon Whelp, Shivan, beautiful alpha Shivan, who doesn't love that, and an alpha Mahamoti Jin. I'm really hoping to see those 2 creatures on the board in today's match. But I think the biggest issue with this deck when you talk about being competitive is the fact that you don't have a lot of ramp, right? You don't have the Moxen, you don't have the Felwar Stone. You don't have the Mana Vaults in here. You do have the Soul Ring, beautiful alpha Soul Ring, but the thing that you're going to do is you're going to play a land and pass the turn, especially at the start of the game. Yes, you've got your Ironclaw Orcs for turn 2, that's something at least, but I think you're going to be outpaced by the opponent. I hope not. I hope they're going to give you the time to kind of slowly build up and play your creatures, especially the bigger ones, but I think that's the biggest problem, or could be the biggest problem for Alexander here in this matchup. And of course, he also doesn't have access to City of Brass, and he also doesn't have access to Volcanic Islands. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. But yeah, what a beautiful deck, right? I mean, this deck is all about beauty. It's all about making a statement. And Alexander, you are making a statement. I love this deck. Now let's take a look at the deck of your opponent. And here we see the deck of Leo Brooder. So yeah, this is black, this is red, this is green. I've called it a mid-range deck because I really don't know how to call it. You could also call it the ultimate meta call. I spoke to Leo, and Leo said, I'm just facing a lot of blue-white decks lately, blue-white spin-off decks. You've got the deck, of course, but you also have a lot of more varieties, blue-white flyers, triple S. You just have a lot of really strong decks that have blue-white at the core. So he decided to build a deck without blue and white and to have a lot of cards in there that would be bad or difficult to deal with for a blue and white deck. And I think we see a lot of those cards here. I can highlight a few. We see, of course, Blood Moon. Blood Moon really good against those type of decks, right? Those 5-color good stuff decks. Not so great in this matchup because remember, Alexander is playing with 0 non-basics, only playing with basic lands. So those cards are definitely going out after game 1. We also see a Shatterstorm. Shatterstorm can be really devastating against all those decks, because all those powerful decks are playing with all the Moxen. Again, not in this matchup, so probably also gonna go out. And then he has a lot of like must-answer threats. For example, a Hypnotic Spectre you have to answer. Shivan Dragon you have to answer. He's also playing with a Disrupting Scepter, which I'm really looking forward to kind of see in action. The Scepter used to be a card that you would see a lot, but lately is kind of, gone out of popularity. But it's slowly making a comeback. I really like the Scepter when you're playing, for example, against the Counter Mage, right? Because you can use the Scepter, force him to discard the counter spell, and then you can start casting your own spells, especially, of course, when you've already attacked the hand beforehand with, for example, a Mind Twist, and then you can just use your Scepter to take out every single card that he wants to keep in his hand when it's your turn. It's kind of an evil thing to do, I agree, but I think when you're playing without the power cards, right, the blue power, and you're trying something new, I think it's okay. I think you can do Mind Twist and Disrupting Scepter. I'm like that. Let me know how you feel about it, but that's kind of my opinion. We're seeing some other meta calls here in the deck, right? Like Argovian Pixies. I sometimes get questions from people, why are the Argovian Pixies so good in old school that they were never played in the past? Well, because Argovian Pixies, they can deal with artifacts. And the problem is you have to deal with Suchis, you have to deal with Mishra's Factories, you have to deal with Triskelions. Argovian Pixies are your answer to all those artifact creatures, to all those problems. And then we also see a Chains of Mephistopheles in the deck, which is really good because Chains of Mephistopheles doesn't let your opponent run away with the game with card draw. And that's, of course, exactly what the deck wants to do, right? Remember, the deck has a Gemde Tome. They want to get in control, then activate the Gemde Tome so they draw twice as many cards as you, and eventually will win the game that way. When you've got your Chains of Mephistopheles out, that's no longer possible. So in a way, it's the perfect answer to all those blue-white control decks. Again, in this matchup, not going to be so good. I actually see a lot of cards here that I think that Leo can board out. One other card that I would really like to highlight is a card. I just love the fact that you're playing this card, Leo. The card Ragman. So Ragman is a card from the dark that I can't remember the last time that I've seen this card in action at an actual real life tournament. And that wasn't like some kind of draft or cube. I think I can't. I think I don't really have a recollection. Maybe I remember back in the day when we just started playing these tournaments, I saw one at the Afton Troll Cup in Leeuwarden, one of the first editions. But Ragman, you probably don't know what it does, so I'll tell you. It's 2 black and 2. It's a 2/1 creature. 3 black and tap. Target opponent reveals their hand and discards a creature card from that hand at random. And you can only activate this during your turn. So it's just really funny. You might as well play with another Scepter, right? But what I like about this card is you never see it. That's the funny thing is when you play it, I wonder how the opponent is going to respond. Maybe the opponent's going to freak out and just plays removal on it, which is fine. But if not, you can use it. It's just going to be funny. And remember, the creature has to be discarded at random. And at least if he doesn't have a creature, at least you got to get to see the hand. The card's pretty bad, right? But it's really cool to see Leo play it. And knowing Leo, he probably has a reason for playing it because he really thought about the meta. So he wants to use the Ragman, I guess, to just, get some key creatures out of the hand of the opponent. And this deck is really built, again, to play against those blue-white control decks. And control decks always want to keep a lot of cards in hand. They want to be difficult. And then, maybe your Ragman can be a big problem for them. So, yeah, I can see that kind of work, when you're playing against such a deck. And maybe it's going to work against Alexander as well, because Alexander, his deck, he's going quite slow, and his deck is pretty creature heavy. So maybe the Ragman can have an added value in this match. I really, really, really hope so. Anyway, talking about hoping and all that stuff, we've looked at the deck of Leo, we've looked at the deck of Alexander, so let's just go to the match, and hopefully we get to see a Shivan Dragon Alpha, Mamoti Jin Alpha. Hopefully we got to get to see the Ragman in action. I'm ready for it. Are you? Game number 1 of round number 3 here of the Raging Bull series is about to begin. On the left, we have German player Alexander. He's playing a blue and red deck. It's all alpha. And on the right, we've got Leo Brooder. And he's playing not Brooder bots. He's playing a 3-colored mid-range deck. And the 3 colors are black, green, and red. Pretty cool deck. Really curious to see some of the cards in his deck. It's going to start off here with a Mox Sapphire Swamp into a Chains of Mephistopheles. Now, that's not an opening that you see often. Let's see what Alex can do here, starting with a Mountain into a Vice. So yeah, Vice not going to do much. Leo having 4 in hand, I believe 5 after the draw. There's a Badlands, going to tap 3. Ooh, Hypnotic Spectre. That is so tough. Let's hope that Alexander has a Lightning Bolt in hand. I mean, that's just the best and cleanest answer. But if he doesn't, it means he's going to take 2 damage probably next turn and lose a card. You really don't want that to happen. So let's see what he can do. Really tough here for Alex having to face that early Hypnotic Spectre. Here we see an Iron Claw Orc, the 2/2 creature. And yeah, that's okay, but not what you want to do here when you're facing that Hypnotic Spectre. So it means that Alexander's going to lose a card here most likely. There's the attack, the 2/2 coming in for damage here. And Alex going to lose a card at random. Oh, it's a Firebolt. That is rough. That is so rough for Alex here because with that Fireball, he could have killed the Hypnotic Spectre next turn, you know. Play a land, play Fireball for 3, kill the Hypnotic Spectre. And here we also see a Chaos Orb for Leo. So more bad news here for Alexander. Leo really having a strong start here. And you can see the power of 1 Mox, right? I mean, it accelerates everything. You have not expected a turn early. Now you can also play your Chaos Orb and use your Chaos Orb. I would be tempted to use it here. And then the question is, are you going to go for blue or are you going to go for red? I think I would go for red, right? Because you take out the Lightning Bolt mana. Then again, you know, you could also think, okay, if I take out the blue, he doesn't have access to the blue power anymore or to counter magic. So he is going to go here for the island. He's going to flip. Ooh, is that a hit? I believe it's a miss, right? Yeah, it's a miss. Okay, so that's some good news for Alex at least. I think it's also good for the game. And of course, we know that Alexander doesn't play with blue power. We've seen the deck list. But remember, Leo doesn't know that. And let's see what Alex can do here, playing another mountain. Does he have another Fireball? That's the question. First, there's an attack. Leo dropping to 18. I mean, a Fireball would be really good here. Of course, he also plays with Psionic Blast. He also plays with Lightning Bolt. So has a lot of answers. But, you know, do you have them in hand? That's the big question. He's going to tap 2 here. And, okay, there's a Shatter. So I guess the answer is no. Doesn't have that in hand. He is going to take care of that Mox Sapphire. 3 cards left in hand now for Alexander. There's the attack. And he's going to lose a Black Vice. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, the Vice wasn't really that helpful. And look at this, Leo missing a land drop. So it's good news for Alexander. Could attack here for 2. Put Leo on 16. That's exactly what he does. 2 cards in hand there. I believe I see an Earthquake and I believe a Brain Geyser. Isn't playing out the Brain Geyser. I think I would have played out the Brain Geyser here. Just step out, you know, play the Brain Geyser. Why not? And he's going to lose a card. Oh, he's going to lose the Brain Geyser, right? Because now you lose it. You could have at least gotten 2 cards out of it. But that's water under the bridge. And on here we see a Sedge Troll for Leo. So it's 3/3 because Leo has some swamps here. One of the stronger creatures in the format. And I wonder if Alex wants to play that Earthquake now. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Untapping again, though. First attacking, that makes sense. First attacking with your 2/2. Maybe Leo is not going to block. Who knows? And he's going to drop to 14. If he blocks, then of course you lose the Iron Claw Orc. But you would lose it anyway to the Earthquake that you wanted to play. So there's the attack first. I think this is a good decision from Alex. There's the block from Leo. Also a good decision from Leo to block. So that means 2 damage marked on the Sedge Troll. It's going to pay 2. Yep, there's the Earthquake for 1. So that means both players take a damage. And of course the Sedge Troll is also dead. So that's pretty good. Leo dropping here to 15 and then emptying his hand playing the Iron Claw. That's pretty sweet because that means that the Hypnotic Spectre, I mean, it's still annoying. It still deals 2 damage, but at least you're no longer losing cards. So Alex dropping here to 11. Passes the turn. Of course, he can attack now with this Iron Claw Orc here. Put him on 13. That's exactly what he does. There's another island passing the turn. So Alex just needs some luck. Let's see what Leo's working with there. We see a Blood Moon in hand. We also see a Shivan Dragon. Shivan Dragon, of course, 6 to cast. Blood Moon pretty useless in this matchup. And Leo just passing the turn. There's the attack again here. Leo dropping to 11. There's a Soul Ring. Soul Ring would be really nice for Leo. Would get him a step closer to casting that Shivan Dragon. There's a Strip Mine from the top. Also see a Fissure in hand. Fissure's 5 to cast, so could cast Fissure now. It's an instant though, so he can just wait with it. Could consider taking care of a land or perhaps even the Iron Claw Orc. There's the attack. Alex dropping to 7. I mean, that Hypnotic Spectre is doing so much work. And Alex, he just needs to find some direct damage, basically. Just get rid of the Hypnotic Spectre. There's the Fisher. Instant from the dark. You don't see this card often. I think it's a cool card, though. Good card. So Fisher taking care of the Iron Claw Orc. New Iron Claw Orc being played out, though. But look at it, Hypnotic Spectre go. It keeps attacking. There's Soul Ring. Oh, he's got 6 mana. He's got 6 mana. Shivan Dragon hitting the board. 5/5 flyer. It's looking very bad here for Alexander in game number 1. The German player needs something here. Needs to take care of that Shivan Dragon. First, there's the attack. Maybe he's got a Lightning Bolt in hand, right? So if Leo now blocks, the Shivan gets 2 damage marked and it can get killed with a bolt. So Leo thinking about it. Does he want to block? Does he want to take the damage? He's got to take the damage, and I think that's a good decision. I mean, you're on 9, and you know that you're probably now going to win the game here. Alex, of course, on 5. It's looking very bad here for him. And Leo turning his creatures sideways. Yep, there's the bolt, and this is game number 1 going here to Leo winning it here. But remember, it's just game 1, so both players are going to shuffle up, and we will catch back up with you in game number 2. Game number 2, here we go. So it's Alex on the play. Let's see what he can do in the second game. I so hope, Alex, that you're going to win this because I love looking at your deck. I just want you to cast a Modi, cast an Alpha Shivan. That would just be awesome. So, I mean, Leo, you know me, I like you, you know that, but I have to be for Alex here. But look at this, though. Alex taking a double mulligan. Oh, that is rough. Going down to 5 cards in the game, you have to win. And then Leo kept his 7, by the way. So it's now 5 against 7. You're also on the play. That is rough. Starting with a basic mountain passing the turn. Leo drawing card number 8 here. And now let's see what he can do. I mean, maybe he's just got nothing to work with, That happens sometimes. That would be really good news for Alex. And now Leo seems to be a little bit in the tank here. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Library of Alexandria. Wow. And I believe he found it just from the top. That's disgusting. This is really bad news for Alex. Playing a land, passing the turn. Yeah, this game is over even before it has started, I think. I mean, Alex just needs like super draws from the top and Leo just needs to draw basically nothing. And then maybe he's got a chance. Here's a quick lightning bolt, by the way, on the Argovian Pixies being played out by Leo. Alex finding another mountain. There's a Granite Gargoyle, 2/2 flyer. You can pay 1 red to give it +0/+1. There we see a Mox Ruby from the top for Leo. Leo does have a Fireball in hand as well. First playing out a Swamp, then drawing an extra card with the Library. There's the Ruby, so now you can Fireball for 2. Yeah, there's the Fireball for 2. That's the problem. When your opponent has a Library of Alexandria, he usually also has all the answers. It's super frustrating. And remember, Alexander doesn't even have a single strip mine because he's playing Alpha only, and I don't believe there are any Stone Rains in there. So 3 cards in hand for Alex. He already passed back to Leo. And Leo just draws another card. Mox Pearl there from the top. There we see a Bayou, the dual land that can make a black and green mana. Is he going to deploy the Pearl or not? It's going to tap 3. And, oh, there's an Hypnotic Spectre. 2/2 flyer, that was so good for Leo in game 1. Let's see if Alex has an answer. But I mean, even if he does, I hope he does, but even if he does, it's going to be rough for him. Do believe there's a Fireball there, so he could at least Fireball the Hypnotic Spectre. Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. I also believe I see a Mahamoti Jin there in the hand of Alex. But I don't think we're going to see that in action, to be honest. Anyway, let's see what Leo can do. Tapping 3. There's another Hypnotic Spectre. And a Dark Heart of the Wood. So Dark Heart of the Wood, a card from the dark. Sack a forest, gain 3 life. There we see a mountain. There's a Psionic Blast. 2 damage here for Leo, dropping to 18. But at least taking care of the Hypnotic Spectre. So Alex is not really finding the answers. He's not drawing that bad, to be honest. The problem is he started with 5 cards in hand. And his opponent basically started with the Library of Alexandria. I mean, that's pretty insane. That's so much card advantage. It's almost impossible to then still win the game. But let's see. Maybe a miracle will happen. Who knows? Looks like Leo's thinking about leaving the Library of Alexandria train. Maybe he's thinking, I'm so far ahead now, might as well just play out my hand. There we see the Fisher. Yeah, Fisher taking care of the island. That makes sense. Does mean 1 damage for Leo, so he's going to drop to 16. Passes the turn. There's another mountain found from the top, so no blue mana anymore for Leo. For Alex. Alex passing the turn here back to Leo. And I believe those 2 cards in Alex's hand, one's the Mahamoti, and I think the other one's also a blue card. It's going to tap 3. Okay, there's a Setch. Draw 3/3. There's another Setch. So double Setch. That is rough. That means 6 damage a turn. So the game could be going very quickly from this point forward. I believe that was a red card from the top. Going to tap 4. Ooh, there's a Dragon Whelp. Beautiful Alpha Dragon Whelp. 2/3 flyer. Pay a red +1/+0. And you can do that 3 times. Can make it a 5/3. If you pay more red, if you pump more red mana into it, it blows itself up at the end of the turn. There's the attack for 6. So he's going to drop to 12. And Leo's just going to pass the turn. Okay, so at least the Dragon Whelp lives to see another day. He can attack you for 5. There's another mountain. There's the attack. Okay. Let's see. Yep, going to pump it up. So that's 5 damage. It's nice to see a Dragon Whelp, dealing 5 damage. It's just really good. Such an iconic creature. You don't see it that often in Swedish. There we see a Taiga. There's the attack, double Sedge. That means only 6 life left for Alex. And the problem for Alex here is, yes, Leo is on 10, which you may think, okay, I'm getting pretty close. The problem is a Dark Heart of the Wood. Remember that Leo can sack a forest at any time for 3 life, which is a problem because the Taiga and the 3 Bayou, they're all forests as well. So he's got 12 more life there on the battlefield. There's the attack here. Probably just going to deal another 5. I mean, Leo's on 5, right? Without the Dark Heart, we would actually have kind of a game. There's the pass. So Leo can finish it here. Unless Alex has some kind of removal. There's the attack. In response to the attack, okay. There's a Psionic Blast. That means Leo will have to regenerate 2 points of damage for Alex and then 3 points of damage from the other set. She's on the 1, right? Exactly. So, I mean, this is pretty cool. Alex manages to survive at least 1 more turn. Go, Alex! Let's see what he can find. Oh, another Psionic Blast. Yeah, he could kill himself. I would first just attack, to be honest. Yeah, maybe blow up the whelp. Why not? It's just funny. Exactly. Blow it up. And we see Leo here sacking force to stay alive. He's going to go up to 11. Then he's going to take 7 points of damage. He's going to drop to 4. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Unfortunate, though. I have to be honest here, Alex. I think you drew pretty good in game 2. After the double mulligan, that is. But yeah, what can you do when you're playing against an active Loa and you've already taken a double mulligan? There was nothing you could do in game 2. It's a little bit sad, though, because look at his deck. Your deck is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for bringing it to the table. And of course, also, congratulations for you, Leo. You brought a pretty cool deck to the table as well with a Ragman in it. I love that. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the Ragman. Maybe you can let me know, Leo, in the comments below. Have you used the Ragman? Has it been useful? If so, please elaborate. Please describe when you've used it, how you've used it. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, this was it for now, round number 3. But please come back next time because then we have a round number 4 match. We're going to see these 2 beautiful decks in action. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that, hit that subscribe button, share, like, and comment on this video. All these things are free and really help the channel move forward. Talking about moving forward, you can also become a patron of the show. Check out patreon.com/TimmyTalks for all the information.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, putting in the longboat until he's sober, putting in the longboat until he's sober, putting in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Rises early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wipe it all over.
Igitus figitus sumba kazee.